So where are we at with the Hollie greig case?
Well, we're attacking it in many ways at the moment. We're obviously trying to put political pressure on. Obviously, it's still a possibility I may be able to stand in Aberdeen South, which will bring the story invariably into the public domain. And of course, that was why I was arrested and banned from Aberdeen, to stop me doing that. But there are lots of people who are trying to help in a way in that area anyway, but we want to bring it as a national. It's a national case. It's not something that the other members of Parliament can actually say, oh, this is just a little local minor difficulty in Aberdeen. It's a national story.
Do you think it's absolutely huge, this?
I think it's the tip of the iceberg. Obviously, I can only talk about the Hollie greig case. I can't speak conclusively about anything else, but I have been led to believe that there are connections with all sorts of other dreadful cases in which there's been all kinds of attempts to hush things up. The Dunblane one was exactly one that springs to mind immediately, but obviously that's not my case, but I've been told that there are connections.
And what politicians do you think all this can link to?
Politicians, I don't know. The only politician who can be definitely linked to, well, the politicians can be definitely linked to are the Lord Advocate of Scotland, Elise Angelini, who we can conclusively prove through written documents has lied about her role in the case. And also we can show that the leading members of the Scottish National Party who are governing Scotland at the moment, Alex Salmond, the First Minister, and Kenny McCaskill, the Justice Minister, are heavily involved in this case. They've been told a long time ago, and we've presented the documents to show that the Lord Advocate in their government, member of their government, had been lying over this particular case. And I suggested back in the summer that the only possibility was actually to dismiss the Lord Advocate and call for a public independent inquiry into the case.
And what we cannot do is not discuss something because it's not very nice. If we are to protect our children, we are going to have to look at some very dark subjects, and then we're going to have to do something about it.
Okay, so here we are,
yes.
Stonehaven once again, Robert.
Indeed,
so
yes.
how many times have you been here?
This is my 18th appearance.
18th time.
I hope it will be the last.
Yes.
You know, don't mean that in a sinister way.
Well, looking at it,
today, of course,
could be a worse place to have to visit
so I'm
often.
I'm going to be sentenced today, so maybe I might be enjoying my last few hours of freedom. I don't know.
Yes.
But obviously, it would be a terrible miscarriage of justice if that were to happen.
Yes.
I think we've seen in my latest blog you've mentioned about how sex offenders tend to be treated up here in Scotland. And just this week we had a man called Liam Gibson, who was described as Scotland's most notorious purveyor of child pornography.
Oh.
Lothian Borders entered his home and found 50,000 images of child pornography. And Mr. Gibson was brought to court.
Oh.
Now what has happened to Mr. Gibson? He has been set free. He's got 3 years probation, but the Sheriff John Scott decided that his conduct was not serious enough for him to be given a jail sentence.
One wonders what's serious enough in Scotland.
Not serious enough in Scotland, but to actually expose child abuse in Scotland is the worst crime of all,
that is serious.
I think. And I think that is why I'm being persecuted in the way that I am.
Yes.
So we shall see anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go to the court now, I think.
We are on the way to the court. I mean, I would just like to say that obviously the challenge will go into Sheriff Bowen, Sheriff Principal Bowen. And clearly he withheld information. I think most of the reliable information I've been given is that he should have disclosed his relationship with Elise Angelini, his fellow board member for 10 years. They have regular meetings. And she, of course, was the cited witness for the defence, who he prevented from being cross-examined in court to my disadvantage. We didn't know at the time, but he was obviously quite well acquainted with the lady and should have declared this at some point to the defence. We had no knowledge of this at the time. And obviously, I have an acknowledgement from the Lord President's office, to whom I made a formal complaint. And actually, it is likely, of course, the possibility exists that Sheriff Edward Bowen will be subject to an investigation over his conduct in this trial. Hence, I do not think, A, he should have taken the trial in the first place. I think any sheriff in Scotland could have done it. All the sheriffs, and most of them, we couldn't really say that they were compromised in any way. But of course, Sheriff Edward Bowen was. Why was he chosen? I've written to Sir Stephen Young, who's the Sheriff Principal for this area, to find out who appointed him. I haven't had a reply yet, so it will be very interesting to see how it came about. But I don't think there's the slightest doubt that the Sheriff should have declared that he had a personal interest there, a personal acquaintance of his, whom he's had been in meetings with after I was arrested. And of course, maybe significantly, is that the two of them departed after 10 years within 24 hours of each other. So you know, we shall see. But I think the sheriff was less than open in not bringing that to the attention of the court and to the defence.
Thank you.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
There's a man in jail who must be free for standing up for Hollie Greig. Free Robert Greig right now. Yeah! Freedom for Robert Greig. The system wants to shut him up. They've got so scared they've locked him up. Free Robert Greig right now. Yeah! Freedom for Robert Greig. Exposing top-rank paedophiles, satanic cults and unfair trial. Free Robert Greig right now. Yeah! Freedom for Robert Greig. Everyone now should know his name. With every voice raised, let's hear you scream. Free Robert Greig right now. Yeah! Freedom for Robert Greig. Don't let justice be denied. Show these crooks they cannot hide. Free Robert Greig right now. Yeah! Freedom for Robert Greig. Free Robert Greig right now. Yeah! Freedom for Robert Greig. Free Robert Greig right now. Yeah! Freedom for Robert Greig. Free Robert Greig right now. Yeah! Freedom for Robert Greig.